What is up, watch fam? I am Christian from Theo and Harris, home of the best darn vintage watches and leather watch straps on the internet. Today, I'm going to be comparing two of the market's favorite dual-time watches, Nomos' Zurich World Time and Rolex's GMT Master. But before I do, I would like to give another huge thanks to the folks over at London Jewelers for arranging this wonderful head-to-head. They are an authorized Nomos retailer. They're having an absolute blast with all these videos that we're creating in partnership with them. I know you guys are as well. The reception has been incredible. So if you are interested in a Nomos, an Omega, a Rolex, a Patek Philippe, shoot London a message. Their info is down below. So now, watches. This is the Rolex GMT Master II, reference 16710. It originally retailed for about $4,000, and today its modern equivalent retails for $92.50. It measures 40 millimeters in diameter, 12.4 millimeters thick, and since it's got plenty of bezel to balance the dial, it wears true to its dimensions. It's powered by an automatic winding, traditional GMT movement. Its hands represent the local time, while the red GMT hand, which you read off of the rotating 24-hour bezel, is home time. Now this is Nomos' Zurich World Time. It retails for $6,100. It measures 39.9 millimeters in diameter, how bizarrely specific, leave it to the Germans, 11 millimeters in thickness, and while it's a tad smaller than the Rolex, it actually wears a bit larger thanks to its thinner bezel and larger dial. It's powered by an automatic winding in-house Nomos caliber, which you can see perfectly through its sapphire case back, which allows the Zurich to jump through 24 time zones while keeping home time steady with the click of a button. While at this point hardly daring or innovative, the GMT is still a great watch. Its concept and delivery have been near perfect since its introduction back in '54. So changes that we would qualify as daring are probably pretty unwelcome. In more recent iterations, Rolex has beefed the case up a bit and replaced their aluminum bezels with ceramic, but at its core, the GMT lives on, by and large, unperverted. Its function is inventive. It's incredibly easy to manipulate, unlike the Rolex, and it's fun to activate, like a toy for grown-ups. While its dial has a ton of print, it's not busy, which is impressive, and it's manufactured in both dark blue as well as pure white, both beautiful colors. I guess lifetime ownership costs are marginally higher on the Nomos due to the complication of the movement, but I welcome that, especially since you can admire it whenever you'd like. While the Rolex errs on the side of sport, while the Nomos professional, barring black tie events, both watches can be worn virtually anywhere. It is worth noting that at 100 meters of water resistance compared to Nomos' 30, the Rolex definitely does a little bit better around the pool. Nomos deserves a standing ovation for their invention and execution of the Zurich World Time. It is, as profane celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay would say, bloody brilliant. I've always wanted to say that. That said, and while I hate being that guy, the Rolex is a Rolex, and the Nomos will never be. It's shallow, but it's true. You can trade the Rolex for water anywhere in the world, while the Nomos requires some explaining.
I'll give you $50 for it.
$50? No.
So which one should you buy? Well, this comparison comes down to preference, whereas many don't. Many watches are objectively better than others, but this head-to-head is very close. It just comes down to who you are and what you appreciate. I absolutely love them both, and it doesn't hurt that the Nomos is a little easier to get. Thank you again so much to London Jewelers for arranging this entire review. It was such a great idea comparing these two watches, both incredible in and of their own right, but so different. So thank you to Zach, Sherry, and the entire team. Guys, if you haven't already, shoot London Jewelers an email at watchinfo@londonjewelers.com. If you'd like to begin to discover some of the world's most important brands, from Nomos and Grand Seiko to Cartier and Audemars Piguet. Thanks again so much. We'll see you all soon. Number one, how dare you? Number two, has the demand for these Rolexes increased so much that Rolex themselves cannot keep up with production?